And on to the women's lightweight double sculls. In lane 1 as the crews line up, China. In lane 2, Denmark. In lane 3, United States of America, a new double from United States of America. West Germany in 4, Canada in 5, and Australia in lane 6. Conditions have flattened down considerably here. The wind's gone round. We've got a bit of a tailwind pushing the crews along. And it's the United States crew, champions last year. It's a new crew trying to defend that title for the United States of America. But Denmark are going well. Canada are going well, and West Germany also well in the hunt.
Seems all the West German crews have actually tried to do pretty much the same thing and lead out here. West Germans always take pride in being fast starters, and this women's double here seems to be no exception. Very fast start from them.
But Germany's west and east are doing an extraordinary job here. They are dominating these championships. East Germany, obviously, in their last year as a nation, as a separate nation, wanting to leave the world rowing stage after 25 years at the top before they get amalgamated into the West German team. But both East and West vying for position, wanting to try and make sure that they are the ones who are front runners for the team next year and for the Olympics in Barcelona in 1992. So there's a lot of tension in that West and East German teams, but East Germany doing as well as they always have done, making sure that they go out with a bang. And it's West Germany now in this lightweight women's double sculls who are heading the field. And in lane 2, Denmark, who gave them such a hard race at Lucerne earlier this year. Denmark rode down the West Germans in the last few strokes of their final. And Denmark again look to be the ones who are going to be pressing those West Germans past halfway.
It's very difficult for some of the women in this race to make the lightweight grade. Women tend to have a higher body fat ratio than men, and it can be very difficult for some of the women to actually make the weight because they need all their strength, they need a bit of bulk to get over the 2,000 metres, and yet if they're just over the limit, they've got to lose some of that before the race. So they've got to be spot on with their weight throughout the year if they're not going to come to championships and produce disappointing form.
That's the new American double there.
Notice it's got a different design of riggers to the rest of the boats, both riggers in the shape of a wing, and that's the American design of Van Dusen, different to the on-packer designs which tend to predominate in Europe.
And that is in fact the United States double, not the Danish double. Their blade work not very good there on their right-hand sculls. You can see them bouncing in the water halfway through the stroke, which shows how difficult it is to use these lightweight sculls. And Denmark there looking nice and long and strong at the finish of the stroke, sculling very nicely out in front. Canada closest to us. Canada just edging past the West Germans. Those two neck and neck, looking for the silver medal. But it looks like Denmark have it out in front.
You can see a beautiful shot with this Danish crew. They're only just covering the painted part of their blades. Nothing's going too deep, and that's efficient sculling. Everything's pushing the boat along towards the bows, and that's why they're in front.
China down in the back there have not really been showing in this race at all, but the Chinese have good finishing power. Coming into the last 500 meters, it's Denmark, a good length and a quarter ahead of Canada. West Germany just holding off the Americans. Closest to us, Australia, and on the far side, China. That's Canada coming well into the picture, looking strong, beginning to give the Danes a little bit of a worry.
Canadians have done wonders with their women's lightweight team this year. They were in contention for final places last year, but certainly nothing as strong as this. So their training program has obviously been going very well.
The heavyweight men have been doing very well in the heavyweight 8 as well. Thanks, that is, to last year's British men's coach, Mike Spracklin, who went over there after a row with the Amateur Rowing Association in Great Britain. He's brought the Canadian 8 along very well. And the Canadian women seem to be coming along on the coattails of that. But here they are now, overlapping the Danes. Danes beginning to open it up in the last 200 meters. And the Americans coming now. The Americans coming on the Canadians.
You can see from the shots of the crews, though, the Canadians just don't quite have the same technique. The stroke girls' blades are going a little bit too deep. Water coming up the loom of the blade, and that means they're not as efficient. So they're putting a lot of effort in, but it's not all going to moving the boat towards the bows.
She's also beginning to row rather short. She's beginning to run out of steam a little bit, not using the full length of the slide. West Germany being run out of it now. West Germany falling back, and it's the Americans who are coming so strongly now at the end. And China on the far side. China beginning to move too. China, but now it's Denmark crossing the line well ahead, 2 lengths ahead. And it's United States just edging the Canadians out. And it's China who get into 4th place there. West Germany fading very badly in that last 500. And Australia coming in 6th place at the end. And very, very pleasing for Denmark. Ulla Jensen, Regitze Sigard, champions 1990, women's lightweight double sculls. So Denmark over 5 seconds ahead of the United States of America, who just pipped Canada, pushed them into 3rd place, and China finishing very strongly in 4th place, pushing the West Germans back into 5th, and Australia coming in 6th position, 12 seconds behind the winners. And the euphoric Danes there, lots of energy left. Ulla Jensen and Regitze Sigard receiving their medals from John Bopey.